Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio.
Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Truth Tuesday show with your host, Akeem L, here on Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. Before I go into what I'm doing, let me just get a mic check. Make sure I'm nice and clear. If someone could just type that in the chat for me or text me if you have my number. They can't hear me. Let me switch it up. No, they can't. Hang on. Oh, they said they can hear me. All right, y'all took a minute. Maybe I'm lagging. Man, I was like, dang. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. Another week of this spectacular, what other word I want to use? This unusual, this strange times that we're living in right now. But I tell you, if you just hold tight, things is going to work out and be okay. We are in transformation, reset. It's time for you to reset, get reacquainted with yourself. Number one, get reacquainted with your family. Number two, start cooking at home, cooking some dinners at home. I've been okay with that, cooking at home. You know, every now and then I run out and get something just to get out the house, you know. But, you know, this is our time to be better and not concern ourselves with the negativity that's out there. There's plenty of it going around. There's plenty of shit posts on Instagram, Facebook that want to drag you into the drama of what's going on. You know, there's rumors and there's some proof to a degree that they're coding anybody that's dying, in the hospital. They're going to code this the coronavirus thing. You know, I was talking to my brother yesterday. We had a good conversation. I hadn't talked to him in a while. He lives in New York. And he was like, he was worried about it a little bit. But then he stopped and said, you know what? Only place I'm hearing about all of this drama is on the news. There's no one around me. And he lives in the 5 boroughs. Well, I think in the Bronx, Bronx and Manhattan. But he, around him, he's going to visit other family. Nobody's having problems. He said, only place I'm seeing problems is when I listen to the radio or turn on the news. I'm not seeing what they're saying. And what they're saying is going on in New York. Not to say nothing is happening. It's just he's not in his personal space of millions of people right in that borough, 5 boroughs. He's not experiencing. He doesn't know anybody that's sick. So, and I was telling him, like I'm going to tell y'all, embrace that. Because in my space, there's no one I know personally that got this thing, COVID-19, coronavirus. The only way I hear about it is if I look at Facebook, look at Instagram, look at the news. I try to go banking. They got it right there. COVID-19. Here's what we have to say about it. When I'm trying to bank, it's right there, right on the screen. Everywhere I go, it's there. But if I close my computer, shut down my phone, and don't listen to any outside information, I won't have any information on it. I won't know anything. I won't feel it. And that's what I want y'all to embrace. Embrace that in your personal space, positive things is happening. Why are positive things happening? Because you're thinking positive. You're putting up, this is the time to practice that mind science that I've been telling y'all. How you can create good things in your life in your personal space. See, if you just block out all the other stuff, this is the time for training. Now, some of you guys are not distracted by work. I know some of you guys are working at home. and you have to deal with the public in some aspect or outside of your home. But this is the time to put an energy, a force field around your home and practice keeping all of that out of your house. Now, I was telling someone, and they, yeah, people are dying. This is supposed to be somebody that's supposed to be so conscious. And I asked the question, how many people you know personally died? You witnessed, you saw, firsthand knowledge. I don't know anybody. I just heard that this guy's cousin, sister, mama, daddy died. And they're embracing that and bringing that energy into their mind and then bringing that into their house. I'm not saying not to feel sympathy for people who are having some trouble. No. What I'm saying is what the Bible clearly says. Be in the world, but be not of the world. Be not of the world mind. I know I'm being repetition. I've been saying this over and over again. That's the only way I can reprogram it, by repeating myself over and over. You know what I'm saying? Somebody bring up a good point in the chat. If it's a pandemic, why aren't the animals dying? Birds falling out of the sky. It's only affecting us. It's supposed to came from animals, right? Yeah, because see, let me tell you something about pets. They recognize sickness. That's why they have, pets to help people. Because they can tell when people are about to have a heart attack or a stroke. They're using animals. See, use your common sense in these things. There's a worldwide agenda, and that agenda simply is to control you and what you think about. That's why the news media repeats everything over and over and over again. And see, there's perpetrators on all sides, because the people that are not believing in the information are repeating stuff too. They're sending you videos. My uncle in the Pentagon know this and that. And, if you keep feeding into the information, keep talking about the information, even though you may not totally believe in the information, you're still promoting the information. And I'm guilty of that to some degree. But I know I ain't talking about no coronavirus. And the day went by pretty smooth and quiet and, didn't even deal with it. Know what I'm dealing with? How to keep my currency flowing. That's all y'all need to think about. Keep your currency flowing. Keeping your money flow. That's all you need. Keep your mind on that. Keeping peace in your house. Some of you guys are at home with the children, making sure they do homework. Think of some creative ways to work with them on the homework. Add some stuff, some games and stuff like that. This is the time to enjoy your family. Get to know them. Because do you really know the people you live with? Even though that might be your mom and your daddy, that might be your husband or your wife, your children, your son or your daughter, your grandmother. Do you really know them? Because most of us was getting up every morning, going to work, gone for about 8, 9, 10 hours, and then coming home, eating and going right to sleep. No conversation. Hey, how you doing? You have a little short conversation. That's it. But do you really? Some of y'all know more about the people at work than you do know about the people you were living with. This is time to become friends with the people in your house and put them first. See, God has spoken by putting you in a position to correct things with your family, with your friends. Slowed you down. Oh, God brought about a virus to do this? No, he didn't. That's a man-made thing. But God uses what man uses for evil and turns it into good. Because now those who have the eyes and the spiritual consciousness to see that this is an opportunity to get paid, not just so much on a physical, monetary level, but on a spiritual level, to raise your consciousness, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Because as things keep going, the people that are living in fear are going to get worse. Their minds are going to deteriorate. Remember, everything is consciousness. Everything. And the mind cannot decipher between what's real information and false information. It just sees it. And if you don't have your mind trained right, it'll believe everything you put in it and have you reacting. So you got to be strong, because them same people that is buying into all of this and worrying about where their next meal is going to come, when they're going to get some money, is going to see you walking around like you walking on air, walking on water, and they're going to be jealous and they're going to be hateful. I'm like, why are they so peaceful? What they got going on? So you're going to have to be mentally strong. And in some cases, you're going to have to be physically strong. You know, I got a few suggestions about physical. There's certain things you can do, certain name brands you can purchase, like Smith & Wesson, Ruger, Taurus, Beretta. They can help you out with the physical part. It's, I'm not worried about a pandemic. What I'm worried about is the fools. Not really worried about them, but I'm cautious about the fools that don't know how to handle these situations. So you got to keep your eyes open. You got to be spiritually aware. Stop talking to people how much you got stored up in your house. Whether you got gold and silver, stop telling them. It's none of their business. If they didn't prepare, that's on them. You prepared. I told you guys back in late part of the year, buy you some silver. And silver's going to go through the roof as soon as they disconnect that fake market away from the physical market. That's coming. Right now, cryptocurrency is looking real good. Although it dropped a lot, and then it came back. It's in the 6,000, 6,500, something like that. But a lot of your billionaires and millionaires are buying a lot of crypto. They're not your traditional ones. At that, I spent most of my day just listening to recordings about different things I can do during these times where everything's on sale. Y'all realize as soon as this thing got announced, where they started putting people home, real estate prices began to drop. Rents are dropping. I was just checking house rentals. A house that was renting for close to $2,000 now, they want $1,500, and it's going to keep going. Nice homes. So purchase prices right now, I wouldn't even think about buying a house right now until we get some light at the end of the tunnel to get out of this. Because everything's dropping. And if we had a couple of upswings in the stock market, but that's just false. Fool's gold right there, because the market ain't finished dropping. See, I listen to people. I don't listen to Susie Orman and that other dude. I listen to the guys like Kiyosaki, Dan Pena. Because they're operating from a different spectrum, and they're not on mainstream media trying to sell you anything. So when they tell you that, hey, listen, certain industries are not coming back, like your cruise industry, it's not coming back, not the way it was, if it comes back at all. So airlines are going to be going bust pretty soon. Every week we stay in it, and they just escalated it. They said, well, now it's to the end of April. Then they sent out a projection that 100,000 to 240,000 people may die here in the U.S., which is much more grimmer number than China, which China has a 10-to-1 population. Yeah, every one person they got 10 people. So how in the world that our numbers is coming? See the propaganda? See, they don't give you the positive part of this thing that 90 to 95% of people recovering. Even more than that, it's a bigger number than that. They just tell you, oh, this one died, that one died. I was reading an article about it. This woman, they found in the house, said she died from coronavirus, and then at the end of the article, they said we're waiting on the autopsy results. How do you, who determined that she died from that? No autopsy, and you just already automatically, how long an autopsy takes. And if they got bodies stacking up, they're backlogged on that. If they, but they got these instant results on when it comes to people dying. That's how they're padding the numbers. That's obvious. But anyway, keep your mind focused on building your peace, your prosperity, your wealth, taking care of your family. This is the time. Anything that you needed to work on, number one, you have to work on yourself before you work on anybody else. This is the time to take it. Take advantage of this because you may not get another opportunity like this for a long time. Envision yourself doing and having the things that you desire. Put the emotion to it. One of the things that people lose when they're doing affirmations is they just repeat an affirmation, but there's no emotion behind it. There's no envisioning behind it. You have to envision yourself doing these things. That's why a lot of the billionaires and millions tell you, if you want a Bentley, go to the Bentley stop and go test drive one, so you can physically lock that into your mind. If you want a lot of money, you have to envision yourself having a lot of money in your hand. So, take the money that you have and look at it and envision it multiplying hundreds of times over. You understand? So, keep your mind locked in on those things, and then you'll be successful doing that, and you'll be able to block out all of this crap that's going on. All right. Oh man, I want to thank everybody that showed up to the first meeting, premium membership meeting, and it was very good. They got the information they needed for the trust. I put them in the right direction. They're on their way to getting their process complete. Showed them my POA, where it was, being filed down at the county registrar. And people who understood the importance of it went and got that thing right away. And they're working on filing it. See, this was the benefit. Some of you I don't understand money would have been tight, or some of y'all just didn't want to pay me that much. Maybe you didn't feel it was worth it, or maybe it was just that you just wanted to do it yourself. And that's cool. Whatever reason you had. But for those who didn't do that, actually, I'm going to do a webinar with the gentleman. Me and him are going to do a 2-day webinar since we can't do seminars. We were supposed to do a seminar in Las Vegas on this. So we're going to do a 2-day webinar. The first day, I'm going to be teaching what I teach normally at my seminars. Since I can't move around, I'm going to do a seminar on your nationality. I'm going to go into the history. You'll see that right online like I do in a seminar. I don't know if it's going to take, 4 to 6 hours. I'm going to try to streamline it so it only take 2-3 hours the most. And then the next day, Al's going to teach on the recoupment process that I taught. But it's not going to be the difference between what he's going to do in the webinar is that you're just going to get the information. There's no hand holding like I'm doing in the one-on-one, not the one-on-one, the group working together process. You're going to get the information, know what you need to do. You can contact him to set up your trust, but you're going to have to basically do private sessions with him to do that process and do private sessions with me to finish off whatever you need to do. But it's not like the private is just a one-time thing, boom. So those of you who didn't purchase that and couldn't, that's the other option. So that's going to be, actually the date of that is going to be, let's see. The date of that is going to be, let me confirm, hang on. I know he said he couldn't do 1 week because his wife's birthday. So April 18th and the 19th. So that's when we're going to be having that 2-day online webinar. And I'll let you know what the price is, but it's gonna cost you. You know, it's gonna cost some money. Because he has to be taken care of for his time, and it's me as well. But anyway, what I want to talk about, there is a case going around, Parser versus all of these people, and it's been online. I've gotten text messages about it. I've seen it on Facebook, and that's why I titled this "Fake Information." The case is actually filed, but it's still fake information to me, because when you look at this case, it's ridiculous. Let me put a link to it in the chat. Let y'all see this thing. And people are saying, yo, this is why they shut down the country. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. These so-called Moors who could consider themselves knowledgeable can't even see the difference. And when you see a case that doesn't have the standing that it needs to meet the test to win a case like this, if you have any half a knowledge of how suits are filed, how they're supposed to be structured, you would see right through this case immediately. I did a short video on the case. I'm going to post it after the show. But I put it in the chat for those of you that are able to see it. There it is in the chat. And as soon as you open it up, you'll realize it's, if you know anything about cases, that this is not proper. So let's go over this case. And it was filed in United States District Court, Southern District of California. That's supposed, there's just so many things wrong with this. It's not even funny. Now, on the case, they got the plaintiff, the OWL Organization, Inc., Cyrus A. Parser, victims of persecution, rape, torture, concentration camp, sex, human and organ trafficking, and organ harvesting in China, Hong Kong, America, and around the world, not limited to democracy activists. Falun Dafa practitioners, Uyghurs, I don't know how to pronounce that word, Christians, Tibetans, judges, lawyers, journalists tortured and killed in China, John Doe's One Unlimited. That's the plaintiffs. What's wrong with that? You don't put all of that in as a plaintiff. You just put the party's name. You don't say victims of. You just put the party's name. Then they got versus Google LLC, Facebook Inc., DeepMind Inc., Alphabet Inc., Neuralink Inc., Tesla, Larry Page, surgery brand. In some of these cases, they even have like Joe Biden and all these other people on it, right? I'm like, and then they have complaint and to the right, and then they have number one, misuse of artificial intelligence, cybernetics, robotics, biometrics, bioengineering, 5G and quantum computing technology. 2, endangering the human race with the misuse of artificial intelligence technology, transfer of AI weapon technology to China, complicity, they even have that wrong, complicity in genocide, China, violation of Article 1, Genocide Convention, violation of Article 2, Genocide Convention, and it goes on. It goes to like 23 things they got on the complaint, under complaint, where you should only put complaint, and then this is the information you put in the body of the lawsuit. Now, they filed this 12/16/19. And then they demand for trial by judge. Last thing you want to do is have a judge hear a case like this. When you sue these type of entities, who of course got high-powered lawyers that could eat you alive, any halfway decent lawyer can shut this down the way they got this done. And then it says 1, related cases. A, do you have other civil cases? That's a form. Case summary facts. endangering humanity with the misuse of artificial intelligence, complicity in genocide, aiding in physical genocide inside of China by transferring AI technology, engaging in cultural genocide of humanity, and controlling and programming the human race by social engineering via AI code and AI algorithmic biometric manipulation. This is how they start to case some of their facts. Now, right there, they're wrong off the bat because you're supposed to start your case out like this. Excuse me. Clear my throat there. Let me show you. I'm working on some suits myself. Here it is. Let me just give you a sample. And the title of mine is Complaint for Declaratory Judgment and Injunctive Relief. I'm suing an entity for violating some inalienable constitutional protection rights. So I put plaintiff, I'm not going to say the name of their name doing business as the all caps and their nationality. For the sake of this conversation, a South Carolinian national, but not a citizen of the United States. Hereinafter, God made natural person. Then I put their name again. And propria persona for his complaint against defendants. And then I put the departments. So I have to introduce who I am into the case. First, before I start talking about facts, then I go introduction. This is an action pursuant to the Constitution of the State of South Carolina. And I put the year, Article 1, Declaration of Rights, Section 1. Then I state I quote exactly what that says. Then I put number 2, Constitution, State of South Carolina, Declaration of Rights, Bill of Attainder. Boom. Number 3, if I'm going to use a code in there, just so happen this is a suit against the entities that keep you from getting your passport because of arrearages. You see? Then I go, number 4, plaintiff seeks to establish that denying, revoking, restricting the issuance of passport to a South Carolinian national but not a citizen of the United States is a violation of plaintiff's unalienable rights protected by the above-mentioned Constitution and his basic rights given to him by God to travel and have dominion over all the earth. However, the United States and Congress Assembled has enacted 42 U.S.C. 652K, denial of passport for non-payment of child support. 1, if the Secretary, so I'm quoting what is causing my problems here, right? Boom, jurisdiction and venue. You got to give jurisdiction. How do they have jurisdiction? This court has subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to, then I mentioned the statutes. 28 U.S.C. 1331. What is 28? I'm actually teaching y'all something real quick in an indirect way through this case. Let's go to 28 U.S.C. Okay. Oh, here we go. 28 U.S.C. 1331. Let's see what that says. It's a federal question. Stand by, y'all. Give me 1 second, and I will be right back. I got to take care of something real quick. All right, and all right, I'm back. All right, so I was pulling up 28 U.S.C. Section 1331. Federal question. The district court shall have original jurisdiction of all civil action arising under the Constitution, laws, or treaties of the United States. So I just showed them how they have jurisdiction to hear this case. You see? I gave them jurisdiction. Then I mentioned there's 28 U.S.C. 1343. Let's see what that says. 28 U.S.C. 1343. What does that say? District court shall have original jurisdiction of any civil action authorized by law to be commenced by any person to recover damage for injury to his personal property because of deprivation of any right or privilege of a citizen of the United States by any act done in furtherance of any conspiracy mentioned in Section 1985 of Title 42. 2, recover damage from any person who fails to prevent or to aid in preventing the wrongs mentioned in Section 1985, Title 42, which he had knowledge were about to occur and power to prevent. To redress the deprivation under color of state law, statute, ordinance, regulation, custom, or usage, any right, privilege, or immunity secured by the Constitution of the United States or by any act of Congress providing the equal rights to citizens of all persons within the jurisdiction of the United States. Now, in this, well, why are you using this? It says citizen of the United States. Why? Because it's considered that social a straw man. And he is. It's not you. So you can use this or you don't use it. Now, I'm still weighing. I put out whether I want to use that or not. I might not use it, but I'm saying this is showing you how the courts have jurisdiction to hear certain things. I'm using that citizen of the United States in it. I most likely would not include that. But there's other, let's go to 2201. I always read everything to see what's going on. 28 U.S.C. Section 2201. I know I'm not typing this in the chat, so. All right. In cases of actual controversy within its jurisdiction, except with respect to federal taxes, other than action brought under Section 7428 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986, a proceeding under Section 505 or 1146 of Title 11, or any civil action involving anti-dumping or countervailing duty proceeding regarding a class of kind of merchandise of free trade country, as determined by the administrative authority, any court of the United States upon the following appropriate pleading may declare the rights and other legal relations of any interested party seeking such declaration, whether or not further relief is or could be sought. Any such declaration shall have the force and effect of a final judgment or decree. So this is perfect. I would definitely use this one, right? Now, also, just to add in there, I would also throw my constitutional challenge into this suit, challenging all of their statutes. So let's go back to this case that I was reading. So in this case, they got case summary of facts, and it's talking all of the stuff that they're doing. I'm skimming through this. Let me just put it to you plain and simple. This case is garbage. I mean, just structure-wise, it's garbage. It's not double spaced like you're supposed to in your cases. They're using different size font sizes, which, in all cases should be around 12 points, and double spaced. The lines. And let's see. I'm going down. They got if I read this stuff to you, it would bore you. Now they're labeling the defendants, but they didn't put a section in here saying defendants to say what they're talking. They're just jumping from one idea to the next. So I can see right now, if any good lawyer gets a hold of this, they're going to motion to dismiss because there's no real relief for failure to state a claim, which relief can be granted in here. Then I go to the website. I'm going to give you the website that this is on. And I'll read to you what's going on here to show you how this is garbage. It's all garbage. But people are online promoting this like it's real information. Oh, this is why they shut down the whole government. This is why we home. No, it's not why you're home, bro. Listen, if they got it on Facebook or somewhere else, putting out these things, then that's not it. Okay? That's not it. Like, this guy was on Facebook talking about, yeah, he got it firsthand knowledge. They're going to shut down our phones for 3 days, 72 hours. And I was just waiting to put this out because I want to make sure the information was right. And he did a YouTube video. I'm not. And then he was setting himself apart. I'm not letting everybody else saying this and that. And I was just making sure it was good for me to say that and put it out and warn people that they're gonna shut your phones down for 3 days. You're gonna have power. You're gonna have this, but for 3 days you're not gonna have a phone and be able to make calls. And I'm like, you got this on YouTube. The 200 and something thousand people have watched this. It's no longer a secret, and they let you do it. Come on, y'all. If they got that type of covert operation going on to go around and arrest all of these people that's supposed to be perpetrating all these crimes against humanity, you would never know it until it happens, if you know anything at all. Okay? So they got people on both sides giving out disinformation. So what I'm saying, stop following all of that and concentrate on your house, getting your stuff together, being positive. Stop following what they're doing out there. Now, with this case, this guy says this, just to show you this is a bunch of BS right here. Defendants all need be served. This is how it's written. I'm reading exactly what's written on the website. Defendants all need be served by U.S. Marshals. We need donations. By the way, this is all in all caps. To make sure everyone is properly served in every way possible. And we need everyone to go after the media to cover this story. Remind that they are in violation of national and international complicity laws, whatever that means. By not covering the story, this includes their owners, reporters, anchors, and editors. Donate via PayPal or GoFundMe. So yes, anybody, as long as you got the money, they'll take and file a suit for $300-400. Well, anything at this point, nothing can be done with this because he don't even have the money to serve all the parties. And how can he serve all of the parties? Because he didn't even address it right. So if I want, let's just say I'm suing Google, right? I have to put Google, and then I have to write in the registered agent who's supposed to take the suit. He has no registered agent of any of these people in this suit. So how do you serve them? You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling you. He just wasted $400. And this is supposed to be the amended complaint that he filed. Or whoever this is. I'm assuming it's a he. I shouldn't do that. Whoever this is. It's titled what does it say? Amended complaint. Oh, if you look at the civil cover sheet, it's written, you can't even understand what's written on here. So, people, before you promote any information, always fact check it. Because I had people sending me this like this was real. Yo, look, check this out. The moment I saw it, I knew it was garbage, but I didn't just jump out there and say it. I said, let me do my little investigation. It didn't take me very long to find this information. And then it took me even shorter time to realize it was a bunch of BS because I do cases, so I know how they're supposed to be structured. You're accusing people of all of these crimes, but you got not one exhibit in there to prove it. How are you going to prove that they're doing all of that? Another thing, if these people were doing all of what this court case is saying, and it's truthful, do you think he would be alive? So I'm taking it right now. Whoever did this, whoever it is, they better be careful because you just put a bullseye on your back. There you have it. Stop falling for the okie doke. Okay? Please, before y'all send me anything, make sure you vet it. Because all I'll email text back is, I'll tell you exactly what I text back today. Somebody sent me this mess. Let me find it. They sent me, this is how I went, check your DM, Instagram. I'm going to try to find a case and send. And I said, what case? I already kind of knew what case it was because I already got wind of it. That they're talking about on IG, Instagram. And you know what my response is? Garbage. It's bull. And they said, okay. Then I said, it's a real case, but some bootleg just filed a civil suit. It don't mean anything. Then I sent them a link. You know. I mean, you got guys taking with their phones. Yeah, this is how it is. This is it. Oh, man. Your fellow Moors calling themselves Moors. That's why I say the conscious community is unconscious. A lot of them. And I pride myself on not being a part of conversations with a lot of people. I don't be on the phone talking to people about this, that, and the other. I really don't. Because most of the conversations don't lead anywhere to anything. You know? I'll say this. If you're going to send me something, vet it, because I'm going to vet it. And my response that you'll get, the response you get from me may not be what you want to hear. All right? So, all right, I'm going to take a couple of calls. This is definitely going to be a short night because next week I'm going to work on a very good show for y'all because that's April 7th. You know, this is the solstice. The solstice is coming up. The new beginnings time is coming up. Now, I know that's what Christ's death was all about. New beginnings. Dying to the old and raising up to the new. Do you think all this is coincidence? Coronavirus is happening. April 7th. Easter is coming up right around the corner. And the real night you're supposed to do it is April 7th. Not, so I think they got it on the 14th. The real night is April 7th. Before sundown. All right. Let's take a call or two. 215-760. Oh, boy. It's taking a while opening up. 215-760. Can you hear me? All right, I'm going to move on. I hear you in the background. You there?
Say the number again.
215-760. That's your number. Because you said say that number again.
I walked away.
What you doing? Wait a minute, hold up. What you got in your hand? You got a blunt? What's that?
I walked away for a minute.
Okay, what's up? What you got?
You know, how do you if the vital statistics would I give you your live birth record and you tried all means to get it? Is there still
it depends on the state what they call it. It depends on your state. It all depends on the state you live in. Some places call their place to get birth certificates different. Like some place Department of Health and Human Services. Like in, I think that's South Carolina calls it that. Some places is vital statistics. New York is that. So you would have to, some places the Department of Health and mental hygiene. You know, it's different names for different states. So I couldn't really tell you. So you would have to go into your state and research that.
So that's what I did. So that's why I'm asking. By doing all necessary things on my end to obtain this, I stay in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
They will not. They say they can't. They don't have it. I did it for.
Some states don't give you the certificate of live birth. They just give you the birth certificate.
Right. So my question then is, can you still do a non-UCC on a birth certificate and not a certificate of live birth?
Yeah. I know, listen, a lot of people teach you need that certificate of live birth, but you really don't. You just need proof of that bond. That's it. What you can do, a birth certificate. A birth certificate is fine.
Okay, so it's the same process.
Right.
So, go to the county, send it to the Secretary of State, get authenticated.
Whatever you have to read the laws of Pennsylvania to see how they authenticate process. But mostly, some states are two form authentication. New York is a 3 form. Like I have to, I'm from New York, so I got to get an exemplification from the county. It's three steps I got to go to before I can go to the Fed to get it authenticated. So I couldn't really answer that accurately because I don't live in Pennsylvania. So you have to just ask them, how do I authenticate my birth certificate? And they'll tell you what you need to do. Now, this is one thing you need to understand about authentication. The country you use or say you want to use for authentication determines whether you get an authentication or an apostille or an apostille. So most people say Taiwan. That's going to automatically give you authentication. But if you use a country like, any one of their countries that's in the Hague Convention, they're going to give you an apostille. So you got to be careful which country you're using for authentication. You got it?
Yeah. So it's Jamaica.
Okay.
I know Jamaica and Taiwan is two.
I don't know about Jamaica, but I know Taiwan to give you authentication.
And are you talking about apostille or?
No, you're not following me, sis.
I think I heard you said that. That's why I was questioning.
Yeah, you're not following me. I said, what country you use gives you authentication or apostille. So if you use a country that's in the Hague Convention, you're going to get an apostille. You use one that's not in the Hague Convention, you're going to get an authentication. So I gave you the country to use that I know works all the time is Taiwan. You will get an authentication if you use that country. I don't know about Jamaica because that's not what I use.
Okay.
All right?
Well, peace. Thank you.
All right, peace. All right, let's go one more call. Then I got to go. So if you got a question, I better put the hand up. 253-476.
Peace to the gods.
Hey, peace. What's going on? How you doing?
Great. How's it going, Akeem? You doing all right?
Everything going excellent.
That's great. I want to ask you a quick question. Say, for instance, you get ready to copyright copyright your name and all the variations of it. Is it appropriate to place a copyright infringement pay schedule in case that somebody infringes upon it within that document?
You can, but it's unnecessary because laws already got stuff written into it what it's going to cost someone for copyright material.
Okay. All right. Sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's not. You can do that. A lot of people want to do pay schedules. I haven't even seen anybody be successful with they did that in their injunction. That didn't stop anything.
Right. Okay.
So.
Okay.
I
appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Peace to the God.
All right. No problem. Peace. Peace to the God.
Peace.
Hey, somebody asked me, Kim, where do you buy your silver? Okay, let me get the place. I think it's APEX. Okay. I'm about to put the link in the chat for you. All right. All right, Marco. There you go. There's the link. It's www.apmex.com. Silver, you can still get you some silver at a reasonable price, but some of the coins are hard to get now because people are hoarding them now because they know a reset is coming and they want to capitalize on that. So you can still buy some silver, but some of the more expensive ones are available. I think the cheapest coin I saw was like $30-something, whereas before when I was doing it, you can get coins as low as $20-something. So it's a little bit more now. Silver is down a bit, but don't let that distract you. Because when they get rid of the fake markets, the fake silver market, or they disconnect the contract silver markets, the futures markets from the physical market, silver and gold is going to go through the roof. So that means the dollar is not going to be worth anything, or very little at all, because now you're going to be dealing with gold-backed currencies, which is pretty much going to happen sometime this year. When, I don't know. This is why a lot of countries, like I've went out of the country a few times, and then they won't take American dollars where they were taking American dollars. They stopped taking them. It made you convert it before they took them, because they knew something was coming. Okay? Now, before I go, like I said, we did the meeting this week on people who are serious is going to set up their 3 trusts, and I told them how to set up their trust, right? Even how to name it properly to make that entity that looks like that straw man that you're going to be doing commerce with, so that you guys can do your 1041s. And just for repetition purposes, I'm not accepting anybody into this group anymore. I probably will create another group separate from this one, and then I'll let you guys know. But right now, that group is closed. Don't ask me how I get in it. Some people, I've already discussed that they can get in it, and what they needed to do. They took care of that for the most part, so no one else is getting in this group. And another thing, I had a few people contacting me that didn't pay the money, the required minimum to be in it, and wanted to be in this group, and I didn't allow them to be in this group. Because why? People paid good money. Why would I put someone who didn't give me the money into this group? That wouldn't be fair to those people, So that's why I'm creating the webinar. We're going to have that 2-day webinar the latter part of April, and I'll send out an email on that. And I'll take this one call, and then I'm out. 612-458.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you were born in North Carolina, but then you moved when maybe 2 years old and never 2 months old and never went back. You still call yourself North Carolinian, correct?
I'm gonna let you answer that question.
I mean, I
believe I'm gonna put it to you another one.
That's what I would do.
I'm not answering that question because y'all got to start thinking for yourself. If I'm born in Barbados but I moved to the United States, or I moved to America, I moved and now I live in New York. What am I? Who am I? Come on, brother, use your brain. Come on.
You said if you were born,
I'm born in Barbados, the country of Barbados, but I moved to New York and I live there. Now.
Yeah, you Barbados.
What is my nationality?
Barbados. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I never lose that. You never lose the original place that you was born in. So who are you now?
Bostonian.
So where were you born? Where were you born?
Massachusetts.
So you're born in Massachusetts. Okay, there you go. You were right.
I don't even know how you say a person from Massachusetts.
You go to the GPO. You go to the GPO style manual, and it tells you.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Now, how about you said you filed before?
Oh, you didn't. I was about to give it to you, but you got it. You
sorry.
Look it up. All right, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead and ask your question. I'll still give it to you.
Last week, you mentioned that you had filed before some kind of a notice of like nationality or something like.
No, I didn't say notice of nationality. I said a power of attorney. A power of attorney.
At the deed registrar?
Yep. Register of Deeds.
A power of attorney. Does the power of attorney have to set out what type type of power of attorney, like if it's just a general or specific scope.
Well,
right?
any power of attorney has to be specific. It ain't no general power of attorney. You got when you doing a power of attorney, it expresses the terms of that contract or what that entity. If you go to a lawyer, he makes you sign a power of attorney. You go buy a car, they make you sign a power of attorney, and all of it is not. It's not general. It's specific. When you go buy a car, that power of attorney gives them the right to register the car for you and get tags for you. So you express the terms of that power of attorney. You go to a lawyer, the power of attorney you sign for him expresses the terms of what he's going to do. He's going to represent you and fight your case to the best of his ability. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to protect your interests. We all know he don't. So when you do a power of attorney, you have to express in clear terms your relationship between you and the straw man.
Okay, you filed it to take can I say to take control of the straw man? You filed it as a registrar.
Well, what is a power of attorney? What does a power of attorney do? Do you even know what that is? Do you know what a power of attorney? What is job?
It sets out an authorization or an authority or agency to deal with some specific matter, right? It gives an individual the like legal or lawful authority to act on behalf of another entity for a specific purpose.
A power of attorney or letter of attorney is a written authorization to represent or act on another's behalf in private affairs, business, or some other legal matter. The person authorizing that other to act is the principal grantor or donor. So you are giving. Say it again.
When you filed it at the registrar, was the purpose that you filed it in the registrar to provide a public notice or of the power of attorney?
That's a public notice of what's your relationship with the straw man, what you're going to be controlling.
Okay, good. Now, what about publishing it in the newspaper or something similar? Is that
okay? Last week when you listened to the show, did I say I would publish that in the newspaper? What am I publishing that in the newspaper for? What is that?
No, you didn't say that.
Did you get married? People publish stuff like notices like when they get married, the death of a person, obituaries. When a house is going into foreclosure, I think that's Lens Pendis. That stuff need to be filed, but a power of attorney does not need to be listed in any type of newspaper. That's a waste. You only need to put it down at the county. You only need to put it down at the county.
No,
that's it.
But do you think there's any potential of value to because you can publish?
If it was value, I would say that. You just gave legal notice when you filed it down at the county on the real land records.
Right. Well, you were saying that some counties are trying to stop you from doing that or whatever. I was just wondering if you think that.
So if one county stops you, you go to another county.
Right. You think it's a complete waste of time to publish this notice in a newspaper or anything like that? That's a waste of time and money then, probably.
How many, brother? Why do you keep got me repeating myself? I just said you don't need to do it. You got me repeating myself now. No. You want me to tell you straight up? No, you don't need to do it. It's a complete waste of time.
All right.
Okay? All right, bro, man. See, this is the problem. And I'm going to make myself very clear for future shows. Don't come here with somebody else's teaching and try to get me to vet it. Because I don't care about other people's teaching. I teach one way in a very specific way. And I'm very clear when I say stuff. So if you didn't hear it come out of my mouth, then don't ask me about it. Don't ask me if you go to some other station, someone and they're saying something. What you need to do is take that information to them and ask them whether it's necessary. Because Akeem never said anything about a power of attorney being published anywhere. Do the attorney publish his power of attorney when he get when you go to him? Do they publish a power of attorney? When you go get a car, buy a car? No. They're performing a specific function. So when they go to the DMV to register a car, they just show that they have a power of attorney to register the car for that specific task. That's what the power of attorney is for. To show when they come at you and you handling your business, wait a minute, I have the power of attorney. You show that to the entity that's questioning you. The reason why I want y'all to file that is because a lot of y'all have done processes, and the very first question they'll ask you, what gave you the authority to do this? And then y'all get, well, 28 U.S.C., the Constitution. And all they're really asking you is, where's your power of attorney to do this? We all know that the straw man is an entity. And you're acting at, when you sign a check, authorized representative. So if you got to show that you're authorized to represent that entity, that you're executing, executor of that estate. That's all you need. All this extra putting in the paper. Listen, some of that stuff they're teaching y'all is just to make it sound good so they can charge y'all more money. If y'all notice, a lot of my stuff that I teach is straight to the point. Very simple, simplistic things. And if anybody that was on that was at the seminar, this last one I did in Charlotte, and then was on that call on Sunday, saw my power of attorney. And the jaws dropped when they saw the content of it. Because they never seen anything like that before. So, no, it's not going up on, I was going to put it on the site for sale. No, it's only right now for people who get into the private membership because I want them to have power of attorney because the stuff they're doing is necessary for that process. So when you get into the private membership, you get that from me, or you have to find it through some other source. All right, that's it. Y'all have a good night. We got Thursday, Tasia and Jessica are going to be on doing their show, the Divine Connection Show. My son did his show on Friday for the first time in a while. He's back. So he'll be back on Friday to do his show. So